Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of Nespeakiw. Nespeakiw is a new show that the U.S. Embassy in Algeria has created, and myself, Salman, and Leticia are the co-hosts. Leticia, how are you doing?
Hi, Salman. Hi, everyone. I'm doing well and I'm pretty excited for the food episode.
That's right. So today we have a very, very special topic near and dear to my heart. I think Leticia would agree with me.
I agree.
Last time we talked about music, learning English through music, and of course, that's also a great topic. But today we have a very, very special guest to help us talk about food and how you can actually learn a language through food. We will introduce her in 1 second. But Leticia, I have something very, very important to share with you. Do you
Mhm.
know what I ate last week?
Let me guess. Tajin something?
No, of course not. I had something much more filling and just something that lasted me the whole day. Kebab,
Kebab, the Algerian kebab.
yes, specifically the one from Algiers. I really
Did you
loved it. Fatma, a huge shout out to Fatma, our embassy chef,
that,
basically,
Fatima?
who makes the best food. Brought it over for me when I was in sitting at home, having nothing else to eat, and gosh, I loved kebab. So, Leticia, since you're Algerian, can you give me the recipe to kebab?
Definitely, yeah. I just have to call Fatma first for the recipe.
Okay, what are you waiting for? Call her. Do you have her number?
No.
Okay, fine. I think I'm going to ask another person who's Algerian and on the call. I wanted to introduce our special guest. We're very, very lucky to have her on the show today. She is a food enthusiast, but also is on YouTube. She has a lot of great videos about learning English and food as well. I've seen some of her cooking clips. On top of that, she was also a former English teacher and learned English on her own. So, Ines Nayli, are you there?
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well and كليتو مليح انا صافا الحمد لله. Hey Leticia, hey Salman.
Ines, thank you so much for joining us all the way from your living room. Uh,
Yeah.
it's a really, it's a great honor to have you on our show. And I know you have a lot of your great followers watching you. So shout out to them. Uh, Ines,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a really important recipe for kebab. Do you know how to make
Okay.
kebab?
Everything. Yeah. I love food, so I can definitely help you with the recipe.
Let's hear it. How do you make kebab?
All right. Right now, do you have something on which to note?
Yeah, of course. I can remember it very easily on just hearing it
Okay.
from.
Okay. First you need you need turkey, okay? You carve it and then and then you put it in the oven and then you need to add salt and then you need some vegetables. You're gonna boil them and then wait for them to be like overcooked. They need to be overcooked, like typical Algerian. And then
Um, are you sure you're talking about kebab and not Thanksgiving meal? Um, well, I think Ines has had a different version of kebab. Where are you from, Ines? Where are you from?
you mean in Algeria?
Yeah.
I'm from Tizi Ouzou and Constantine. I love rashta, I love titli, I love couscous, but I can't
Wow.
cook. So was
Okay.
my recipe correct?
Maybe kebab in Tizi Ouzou and Constantine are a little different. The only thing that I think you got correct were
Yeah.
the sequence words that we use in English to explain sequences. So you talked about first taking the turkey and then doing something else with it. So I think this is going to be our first lesson today,
Yeah.
how to talk about a process. Um, So I think many of you know the word first. You can use first, second, third. You can also describe a process saying first, then, and finally. So these words are very important because sometimes we have recipes that ask you to follow the order, and it's important to know what order you're following. Great.
Thank
Um,
you. Listen.
so Ines, Leticia, do you know Ines? Do you know much about her? Ines, maybe you can tell us about how you learned English.
Yes,
Um,
I have simple videos on YouTube.
yeah, did you check it? Did you see it?
Yes, I love your content, and I had a question about that. How do you find time to come up with content on YouTube, and at the same time, you still have time to practice English and learn more?
Okay, so I haven't posted in like 2 months. So obviously, I find time. Well, I love English and I'm a self-taught. So I started learning English. Like it was not voluntary at all. Like it was not meant to happen. Like I was just locking myself in the living room and watching, like Disney series, like Hannah Montana and everything. I don't know if you're a 97 kid, but I am. And it's, yeah, it was just like that. I don't know. When people ask me like, "Oh, how did you learn English?" I don't know. I can't explain it because it was not meant to be. Like I was just watching every day, and then whoop, my
I
brain just.
relate so much. That's what happened with me too. Hannah Montana, Wizards of the Waverly Place, everything.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's the best way to learn because you actually get to watch something that you like with language that you like, and yeah, it's not like I said, it was not on purpose at all, but it just happened. And music too. Music helped me a lot too. What about you, Leticia? Was it the same?
As I said, it was Disney when I was like really young. And then when I started getting older, I got on Twitter and Facebook and all, and I started like seeing the words, and I'm like, I heard that word before, and just start learning how to spell. And that really how I learned English.
Yeah, and then you upload a dictionary and you're like, I need to check this word, I need to check that, and then you just find yourself with knowledge that's like
Exactly.
random. It was
It's fun.
honestly.
Ines, I wanted to ask you, and I'm going to ask you while showing you a background roll of you, one of your videos, because I think they're really cool. So just a second. Ines, how do you think learning English has helped you in your role as a YouTuber, as someone who has a large following? I mean, you have over 500,000 Instagram followers and 225,000 YouTube followers, I think.
Yeah, like something like that. Well, people tend to look up to me when it comes to learning new language because they identify. They're like, okay, نقدر نكون كما هي. Like I can be like her, and that's amazing that people tend to say things like that. I think it helped me a lot to show to people that you don't need to go, I don't know, like study abroad. Okay, this is me cooking. You don't need like like a lot of money باش تروحوا تسافروا ولا because I've never been to America, I've never been to England, I've never been to any anglophone country, like none. So people tend to really identify themselves to me. They're like, okay, so if she did it, then I can do it, and I'm just a girl كيما كاع الناس, like I'm not different at all. So yeah, I think it helped me.
That's amazing. What was the first video that rose you to popularity that became viral? What was it about?
Do you know the Bilal videos?
Leticia, do you know? I don't know Bilal videos.
No.
Okay, so Leticia, do you know the Bilal videos? No. So let me explain. So I came up with the concept like of story time, storytelling, but it was not fake, but it was sarcastic. So I put myself in a girl, typical Algerian. No, I don't want to say Algerian, but like it's like a parody, you know. So so I'm like, yeah, I love my husband. He hits me all the time, and when he doesn't hit me, then I get worried because a real guy hits you because he loves you. Otherwise, I mean, he doesn't love you, you know. So I was being sarcastic, kind of like doing the parody of some Algerian girls, like society. It was really sarcastic, but it went viral because people really got the message and they were like, okay, yeah, she's making fun of us, and yeah, things need to change. Not of us, but like I was kind of like trying to spread a message for not feminism, but like wake up, wake up. This is not love. This is not respect. This is not what marriage is about in Algeria, you know? So people loved it. So I did 4 videos. So it was like the first one that went viral is my favorite type of guy, like the type of guy that I want to marry. Like, dear future husband, I hope you're gonna hit me. I hope you're gonna, hakek. And then the second one was story time, like how we met. Typical scenario, like, oh my god, I was in love with his car, his hair, like it was really sarcastic, and I got a lot of calls from TV, so I went on TV talking about my videos, explaining, because some of them didn't get the sarcasm. Some of them were like, serious, like she's serious, she's seriously like encouraging this, but I think more people فهموا, and they were like, okay, we like this girl because she points. Voilà.
I think that's really interesting that you talk about so many different topics. I mean, you have videos on learning English.
Like, tomorrow I want to make videos about football, then I'll do it. Like, I don't limit myself to certain topics. Like, it's my YouTube channel. I do whatever I want.
And I'm amazed at your English. I mean, when I hear your accent, it sounds like you've lived in the US for a while, but you said you've never left. You've never been to an English-speaking country.
Never.
That's amazing.
No, maybe, Dubai, but it's not like we speak English there, but it's not like a, English country. It's not the U, but I really hope I'll go somewhere.
Awesome. Well, thanks to Ines for being on the show, because we're going to learn a lot today.
Yay.
On the screen here, you see a recipe that many of you food lovers like to read online and try and cook. But the problem is that sometimes these recipes are going to be in English. So this is one of my favorite websites, Budget Bites. That's where I cook a lot of stuff, because Budget Bites is for those of us who like to cook on a budget. Yeah. This, when I was in university and had very little money, was the website that I would use to cook. So it tells you how much the recipe costs. This is in dollars. But anyway, we're just going to use this as an example to see what you'll learn today. So this is a recipe for garlic butter baked chicken thighs. Now, I do not want to do that. What I really don't like about recipes on the internet is you have all of this stuff until you have to go through until you actually get to the recipe. Today, we're going to learn about how to decode measurements, when to use many versus much, and some food-related idioms. Now, you already see that there are some differences that we use here in American recipes. For example, we use Fahrenheit, not Celsius. We also use ounces or pounds instead of kilos. So all of those are going to be very little in terms of differences when you actually learn what the recipe is trying to tell you. So Leticia and Ines, maybe you guys can go over some examples of how, a recipe and a menu look differently than you would find in Algeria, and how to give some tips about how to read them.
Menus in Algeria and America are not exactly the same. Can you bring back the page, please? Okay, good. So there's like differences, but the meals are obviously the same. An example is an entree. An entree here, entree means like an appetizer. But in American English, we call that, well, an appetizer. An entree means a whole dish or a main course, right, Salman?
Yeah, exactly. That one always makes me confused.
Right.
Any other ideas here? I think another thing I saw here is combo, soup salad combo. So combo is short form for
Combination.
combination. Otherwise, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think we just have a few little differences here. Um, so I just wanted to bring the audience to understand that we use tablespoons here in short form, TBSP, instead of tablespoon, and then TSP, teaspoon. What is that in Darija?
غرفة صغيرة من غرفة كبيرة.
Okay, well, that makes more sense than table and tea. I don't know why we use those in English. And then, of course, we have pounds. So if you're trying to calculate, I usually do 2 pounds is 1 kilo. So there we go. And then Fahrenheit and Celsius, I think that's a little bit more complicated, but that can easily be done on a Google search. So next, we're going to go to our lesson on when to use much versus many.
Can I say hi to my Timekla? Timekla, I know you're there. شفتوا الماكلة؟ لازم نحضر على الماكلة. Merci beaucoup Kia Cornelia. Merci, merci. Thank you so much for being here, my Timekla. نحبكم. Et on va continuer avec vous parce que مانيش نقرا les commentaires تاعكم. Voilà, la بها. Mais على بالي بلا Cornelia. Enfin, j'espère. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
That was awesome. How do you, just to ask you, how do you remember all your followers? And
remember them because the same names keep coming, so I remember them and I know them. Like I know them. I've met some of them, lots of them actually. Yeah, and I love them. So when you love something, you remember it, right?
yeah, that's right. I can't even remember who's who I work with sometimes in the embassy. So that's a good advice. All right. So we have some differences here when we talk about much, many. I sometimes get confused with this too. Can I say how much of something or how many of something? And I think when people are learning English, it could be a little confusing. So the general rule here is when you can count something, it's many. When you can't count something, it's much. So when you want to say, I have many friends, you can say that, many friends, because you can count the number of friends. But you cannot say how much friends, because you can count the friends. When you have money, you can't count the money, because money is it's a word that is a collective plural noun. Jama mufrad, right? In Arabic.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it doesn't sound right when you say how many money, because when you add an S to monies, it doesn't exist. The same thing can be used for milk. How many milks? That doesn't make sense. Because milk, you can't count milk. So you would say how much milk, how much water. Do you guys have any other examples you can add, Leticia and Ines?
Yeah, time. I don't have much time.
I don't have much time, exactly. And when you're trying to negate something, when you're trying to say you don't have anything, you would usually use much for those same words. Great. And here is another example. I'm just going to share. So I've just changed my screen. Hopefully you can see this new picture. To sum up, much can only be used with uncountable nouns like money and milk, water. You can't make those plural and you cannot count them. And then many you can only use with countable nouns, like friend, computer, bottle, anything that can be plural and counted. All right. How are you guys doing, Ines? Ines and Leticia, how are you guys doing?
Well, I am actually reading some of people's examples. So Brahim Sharif gave us an example. He said, how much energy do you need to teach? So Salman, how much energy do you need to teach?
You can't count. You can't count energy because I don't have any of it. That's the trick. No, I think it's. I love this show and I love sharing a part of American culture and language with you, because I know that in Arabic this can be difficult as well. When I try to follow Arabic recipes, first of all, it's not in Fusha, so you have to. If you want to cook something Moroccan or Algerian, the dialect is going to sound very different to each other. So that's the
And
trick.
you know, actually, in Algeria, and I think in Morocco too, we have something when we say عينك ميزانك. So we don't actually give measurements, you know. We're like عينك ميزانك. It's like عينك ميزانك. Like your eyes control the quantity. You know, you can't like say 1 tablespoon. No, it's like عينك ميزانك. It's something that we say عينك ميزانك all the time. So when you ask, for example, a woman for her matloa recipe, she's like عينك ميزانك فرينة عينك ميزانك البيض عينك ميزانك.
Yes, we have a question from you from Maram Layib. She says, Ines, please, I feel weak. I can speak English, but not very much. I have to develop myself and learning more. Please, what should I do from where I have to start? To tell you, I study computer science.
Okay, so there's something that I say all the time, and I always tell them, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. You need to practice. You should practice with anyone. Like if you have a friend, a neighbor, a family member, a sibling that wants to learn English too, you can practice with them. You don't have, because I think that when you stop speaking English for like a week, it's different than when you speak it every day. You know, you start forgetting language when you stop using it. Sometimes I stop using Arabic and I'm like, oh yeah, when I don't go to uni, you know, during summer, then I go back to university, I'm like, Arabic, oh yeah, I need to remember. So practice makes perfect. You need to practice.
We also have Kamal Bilmihub that says, I can hear Americans say, I haven't so much money. Salman, what do you think about that?
Yes, you can definitely say that, but you don't have much money. That makes total sense because money cannot be counted in the sense that money is just money. It cannot be monies. So you can say, I don't have much money. And that's unfortunately the story of everyone's life most of the time. Americans, there are Americans who also don't have much money, if that's what you're trying to ask. Leticia, did you want to talk about some food idioms that we have in English?
Definitely. We're going to go through some expressions in English that are related to food and see the meaning together. The first one is bread and butter. Bread and butter is basically having a bread and butter job, is having a job that provides you with the minimum enough to live. So yeah, you have it on the screen. Necessities are the main thing. Okay.
Great. We also like to say when we talk about butter, to butter someone up. Basically, to put butter on someone means to be extra nice to someone. So for example, I want to say, you know, I really have to butter up Ines so that some of her followers subscribe to our YouTube channel. By the way, please click the red button that says subscribe at the bottom of this video. The US Embassy always has some engaging content for you every week, so please subscribe. There we go.
And in Algerian, we don't say butter up, we say like oil up, ندير زيت. Like I put oil, ندير لك زيت. So I'm gonna oil Salman so I can make content with you guys.
Love it. Butter and oil always go together, I guess.
No. Alors,
Leticia, do you know cheesy?
Cheesy, yes, I've heard that before. It's like something cheap and overdone and overused, right?
Yeah, exactly. Um, when you have some guy, trying to talk to you on the street and he says something silly like a pickup line, it's usually very
You
cheesy.
pick lines, Salman, in Algerian, no?
Sorry?
Ooh, let's hear it.
Do you know any pickup line?
No, I don't, because luckily I've not agreed to use them. I know that can land me in a lot of trouble here. So can you teach me some?
Yeah, I need to shall I teach him some pickup lines so we can use them. Wait. Okay, so I think the most common pickup line is wesh زين مخطوب ولا يستنى في المكتوب. What does it mean?
Wash Zain al-Maktub?
wesh زين. It's like, hey beauty,
Uh-huh.
الزين مخطوب ولا يستنى في المكتوب.
Wash Zain Makhtub wala yastanna fil maktub.
Really good.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
So funny.
We'll have to do a special lesson about pickup lines in our next episode for Nespeakiw.
Yay.
Great. So we also have cream of the crop. Cream of the crop is usually when we say, crème de la crème. This person is the best of the best. It's very simple.
Like me on YouTube, I am the cream of the crop.
And I think this could also be used as a pickup line. Very bad line.
Yay.
Yes. Next, we have don't cry over spilled milk. This usually means that you cannot get upset over something that already happened and you cannot take it back because you cannot get spilled milk over the floor again.
Yeah.
Is there a Darija version of this?
It's more like attends, spilled milk. Like l'effet med. It's like l'effet med.
Already happened, it's gone, right? Over it.
Yeah. Like it belongs to the past. Like we don't care anymore.
Yeah, that I like that one. That one's easy to remember.
Yeah.
What's the next one? In a nutshell. In a nutshell is basically a nutshell is the case that comes around the nut that you have to peel. So that one is basically saying, whatever I just said to you, I'm just now going to make it easier to understand. In a nutshell, this show is about learning English. It's a way to summarize something.
It's like overall.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think we all know this one, going nuts about something or someone.
Yeah. Going crazy.
Yeah. So you're obsessed with something, you're going crazy about something or someone. Nuts about
tacos. French tacos.
French tacos, yeah. And piece of cake, which is related to our show name. Leticia, you want to talk about this one?
Yes, piece of cake, it means something is as easy as well. Having a piece of cake, something very simple and very easy to do.
And also as easy as pie. Same thing.
Yeah.
I love this
one. Putting all of one's eggs in one basket. This phrase is very common, and it means that that whoever put their eggs in one basket put too much effort or money or time into one thing, and you can say this to someone who might have lost that thing. So
it's like when you apply for a job and just send out your resume to like one place and focus so hard in the interview and on that one place when you could have just sent it to other places, other companies to lift up your chances.
Exactly. Finally, spice things up. That one is used when you want to, make something more exciting. Hey, Salman, this show is really boring. Can you spice things up a little bit? Is what my colleagues are telling me right now. So that's one of these examples. So I wanted to end the formal part of our lesson and just go through what we've learned. So first we talked about sequence words, first, second, third, finally, first, then, and finally. We also talked about the difference between many versus much, and we talked about food idioms just recently. Um, so I also wanted to give a shout out to Ines's followers. I think Team Makla is one of your people, and that's a really great name, by the way.
Mecca, we love food.
Yeah, Team Makla en force. Um, so let's take a few questions from the audience. Abia Falak asked, Mr. Salman, what's your preferred dish ever? So what is my favorite dish? I think my favorite dish has to be any dessert. I love sweet things. So if you give me like a tiramisu or milfei, I will eat that for any meal.
Okay,
What about you, Ines? What's your favorite dessert?
dessert, I'm not really into dessert, but I would say crème brûlée. Crème brûlée. I love
Or
crème
what's your
brûlée.
best dish? What's your best dish? What's your favorite dish?
Definitely lasagna.
Lasagna.
Lasagna, yeah.
What about you, Leticia?
Exactly, lasagna.
Yeah, and we have a really funny comment from Malik Sweet. Can you change the topic of the subject because I'm doing a regime? So this is an important word. Regime in English is something completely different.
Yeah.
Regime in English means someone who's in power, like a political government.
Well, in French too, actually, it has lots of meanings. In English too, in French too, we say le régime de Staline, de Hitler, for example. We can say it too.
Exactly. But in English, you would say diet. Diet, very important word, especially when you're sitting at home and working. Ines, I think a lot of people, including your followers, are interested in learning how they could learn English and speak as good as you do. Can you just go over some advice for them?
Okay, so first I would like to say that so school and stuff are important when you want to sign up somewhere to learn. But I think that 90% of the work has to be you need to do it. You don't have to wait for some teacher to teach you. I think that let's say 80% of the efforts have to be done by you. You don't need a teacher to tell you, okay, so tonight you're gonna watch these series. No. Do it on your own. I think you need to watch movies, Netflix with subtitles, English subtitles. What I advise them is not to watch it like, for example, in English and then French subtitles or Arabic. No, it has to be English and English, so you can hear and read what you just heard. So you can learn the pronunciation. Okay, oh yeah, no, you read at the same time, so your brain can comment dire شغل يدير لو ميكس entre واش راك تسمع وواش راك تقرا ثاني. لازم تقراو وتسمعوا en même temps باش هكا في راسكم you're gonna save those words and expressions and things. Ensuite, music. I think music helps a lot. وشنو تاني practice. We all have someone in our environment, in our life, who wants to learn English too. Then be friends with them وهضروا معاهم سقسوهم even like 1 hour a day. It's okay. Like make an actual conversation with them. Like, oh, salut, what did you do today? And then you can correct yourself, like تتعاونوا oh, you said this wrong. Oh, really? Oh, you wrote that wrong. Oh, really? You know, you
Or
don't
you
have to be ashamed. Some people don't. They're like shy. They're like, oh, خفت نغلط. Like I don't want to make a mistake, so I'm shy. No, it's okay.
I said you can also like add foreigners, like add native speakers online.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
That's what I did early on as well.
Mm, صح,
Yeah.
صح. I think there are some apps that can do that. And yeah, just keep practicing. And then if you get the chance to travel, I think that's even better because you actually get to practice. But you don't need to travel. Like I've learned English and I've started teaching without even traveling to the US or England, like I said. So it doesn't matter that much. I think it doesn't matter at all because with internet, like it's as if you were there. So better.
Yeah.
We have a question from Umarani Ami that's asking, what is America's national dish? Salman, do you want to answer that?
Oh man, it's hard to say because we have, I mean, 300 million people who eat so many different things every day. I can talk about my state. I come from New Mexico. New Mexico is on the border with Mexico, of course. So we have a lot of Mexican influence in our cooking.
Mm.
Our like state dish would probably be green chili chicken enchiladas. What did I just say? Green chili.
And
Sorry.
quiero enchiladas y quiero quesadillas.
Exactly.
Zero toda la
Yeah. So enchiladas are basically like rolled up burek, but not fried. Sometimes they can be fried, but enchiladas are usually rolled up, and then they're either steamed, baked, and they're stuffed with meat and spices. And then
Mm.
enchilada, so these rolls of meat, usually in this case chicken, then they put green chili smothered sauce all over the dish. So um, love green enchilada. Every morning, me and my friends would go before school to get Mexican hot chocolate in the winter. So this is like hot chocolate that has cinnamon and chocolate inside the spices. So we have a lot of great food in America. I think a lot of American classics, you can see them during the holidays. In the winter, we like to eat more. So you'll always see turkey being roasted, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie is my favorite holiday food. So I think there's a lot of great American food out there. What about you guys, Ines and Leticia? What is the national dish of Algeria?
Will it be couscous? Yeah.
Definitely couscous.
But
We
is it
have a
couscous?
lot of traditional. Go ahead.
Is it like couscous with sauce? There's sauce blanche and sauce rouge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's masfouf.
What?
There's the couscous that you put with libin,
Misfouf, yeah.
masfouf. What do you guys think about those? Which one is the best couscous to try?
I'm not a couscous person. I would say other traditional stuff like krishta or chouchoucha, or yeah, these are my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Rishta, shakshuka. Even couscous sauce rouge is great.
Good too. It's not really.
Yes.
Yeah, I think someone asked what the best dish, my favorite dish in Algeria. Um,
I'm gonna ask
I
that too. What is it?
sorry.
I was gonna ask that as well. What is it?
My favorite Algerian dish, I think, well, besides kebab, I think is mahajib. I love mahajib. Uh,
Yeah.
it's like very easy to just go to the street and pick up a mahajib and eat it, and it fills you
Yeah,
up,
it's
you
not
know?
a snack. It's like hot dogs in America and hajib in Algeria. It's
Yeah,
so good.
exactly.
Like, can you eat one? Like, can you limit yourself to one hajib? No way.
Impossible, impossible. And
So
sunman
you're
is
like,
good too.
cinnamon, yeah, with honey. Mm.
Yeah. So Carl Majani is asking for some advice to improve pronunciation. And I think I can relate to him because when I was learning Arabic, I could not say the letter ha. So I couldn't say ha, it always came out as ha. And my Arabic teacher, yeah. So instead
Okay.
of saying marhaba, I kept saying marhaba. It's not the same word, obviously. So what my teacher told me to do is stand in front of a mirror and keep doing this until the mirror fogs up.
Guys,
Now, well,
It's actually a great tip.
please do not do this outside of your home now that we have coronavirus. We don't want you to
Coronavirus.
leave germs everywhere. But I think
You're getting in trouble.
no. But I'm just saying, sometimes you have to look stupid. You have to embarrass yourself in front
Yeah.
of a mirror, in front of a camera, in front of 200,000 Facebook viewers. I don't know, to just practice something. And language, in the end, is making mistakes. I don't think Ines was born speaking perfect English. I would not be surprised if that was the case because her English is amazing. But
Thank you.
I think Leticia, Ines, and I all had to learn English at varied ages, and we all, with a lot of practice and mistakes, got to where we are today. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone out there who's learning English that has not left Algeria. It's a very hard thing to do when you're learning a language and you cannot practice. But the embassy is always here to give you these opportunities to practice, whether that's just typing questions or listening in. So subscribe. Um,
Their
Ines,
channel and their Facebook.
yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Ines's YouTube as well because I've seen some
Thank
of her videos and she gives English learning lessons in really comfortable advice that anyone
you.
can practice at home.
and Ines is pretty fun as well. Like her videos give out such a good vibe. They're so
Thank
much
you.
fun.
Thank
Actually,
you.
Ines, I'm learning Darija by watching your videos because
Oh,
your Darija is easier to understand than like watching anything else on Facebook. You speak
yeah,
at a
yeah.
very comfortable pace, so
But like Derja is a mix of French and Arabic. Can you speak French, Salman? No? Do you speak French?
yeah. أنا نحضر درجة صح. ما نقدرش نخلط ميلونجي الفرنسي والدرجة en même temps
You
parce
just
que
did. You just did.
صح. انا لازم انا عندي شوفي انا عندي درجة هنايا وانجليزي وفرنسي وفصحى دونك ما نقدرش نروح من درجة للفرنسي en même temps parce que كاين distance difficile.
You're mixing.
It's like it's like swimming in hot and cold water at the same time. It's impossible to do. You have to configure your brain. So props to everyone. I love how Algerians mix all these different languages. Um, I am getting really hungry talking about food. So I
Let's
think
go.
I'm going to end this and make myself some hajib or go to the street before the curfew and get some. Uh, what are you guys thinking about doing now? Do you have any closing words?
I'm gonna go back to my diet food, which would be oatmeal and yogurt and all of that boring stuff. But I would like to say thank you to everyone that watched, and Team MacLab are all over the comments. Thank you, Ines. You are so much fun, and I'm glad we finally got a chance to talk. And thank you, Salman. That's it.
Yes, Ines, a very special thank you to you from both Leticia and I and the US Embassy. You are a really fun person to interact with and have on the show. A special
Thank
shout out to all your followers, Team Makla all the way.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, Ines.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you to my team at Club for being so loyal and I love you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. And we'll see you on the next episode of Nespeakiw in 2 weeks on Tuesday, July 28th at 4 p.m.